Hey, what's up guys, it's Spectrum back here with a brand new video review. This time I'm going to be taking a look at the Figuarts Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku and these Dragon Ball GT Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta action figures. So let's get started. We got the packages here. I will just go ahead and take a quick look at Goku's first. Got a very nice product shot of the figure right up there. This looks really nice. Dragon Ball GT Tamashii Nations Bandai, the Toei official seal sticker right there letting you know that this is not a bootleg. Designed by Tamashii in Japan, Bandai Spirits made in Vietnam, blah blah blah, you get it. Name of the figure on this side. Hey, let's just lay these guys down. It's probably better. Good idea. But yeah, what was that? Oh yeah, got the name of the figure on the side. That's the boring side. Got a few product shots. You got the Kamehameha, the face, and the profile. But yeah, so my packaging, so I brought this figure to work when I first got him, and it was raining when I walked home, so the packaging has definitely seen better days, but it's alright. Got an instant transmission image bleeding over the side of the package, which is pretty standard for SJ's Figuarts. On the bottom, you got a very nice product shot of Goku, the name of the figure once again. On the back, you got a bunch of extremely nice product shots. I think this one's probably my favorite besides this one. These two right here are definitely the standouts to me. Somewhere in here it says Spectrum Reviews is awesome. Bluefin, which is actually sad that they went down. I had some pretty good experiences with him back in the day when I first got into the SH Figuarts line. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for Goku's packaging. We'll just set it back in the background. 1 second. And now for Vegeta, pretty much the same thing as Goku, except it's Vegeta and it's blue. Literally the exact same style packaging. You got a nice product shot of Vegeta right there. Got an array of product shots that blued over on multiple sides of the packaging. There's the foot, the face, the fist, and the abs, letting you know that he means business. Got a nice product shot up here that bleeds over this edge, like I said. On the bottom, you have a very nice product shot along with what I paid for the figure, $65. That was actually very nice, just retail. And they were resellers, so either that or they have like the contract with Bandai and they don't have to make profit off the figure, so they just sell them for retail, which is very nice. Got a bunch of nice product shots once again. My favorite one from these is probably this one because this reminds me, I don't know if you guys play Dragon Ball Legends, but this reminds me of the strike animation from the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in that game. And then I like this one as well because that reminds me of his blast animation. He goes, ah, with his hands forward like that. And then I like this one as well. I like them all. So yeah, enough with the packaging. We've been rambling on about that for 3 minutes now. Just step back down. We'll take a look at Vegeta first. And then we'll just stand Goku up. Alright, and hopefully the autofocus doesn't cut me. Okay, and it's seeming to do pretty well. Yeah, okay, so the first thing about these guys is the sculpt work. It's a bit soft, but it is extremely well done. But it's softer mainly, I think, because like when you're mass producing these and you're using like the clamshells to mold the plastic parts on the figures, you know, some of the details are going to be softened over time on certain copies and stuff like that, so I don't really mind it too much. Wow, his hair is actually really loose. I did not notice that before. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, the hair is really nice as well. You can see it's nice and glossy. More of a muted brown slash like very light black, which is actually canon to how Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta looks in the anime. And especially to certain points of the series in Dragon Ball Z, he actually has a very dark brown hair instead of black. But sometimes he's drawn to black. It's really both. I like the pants a lot. You got some nice shading, especially on the thighs, bringing out the musculature. Very nice. The boots are painted extremely well too, especially on my copy. The pants are painted well. The belt. All the detailing is nice, you know, the specific little details that they could have gotten in here, they're all really well done. I don't see any paint splotches on literally any of the faces or anything. So the Vegeta is well done. The musculature up here looks very nice and it's anime accurate. You know, the fur is sculpted well. Like I said, it's a bit of a softer sculpt, but I actually don't mind that. And that might actually be anime accurate as well. Either that or it's just like I said earlier about the whole mass-produced thing. You know, some details are going to be lost in the process, which is to be expected. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it for Vegeta, and then he has his tail as well, if you wanted to see that. I wonder, actually, let's compare them now. I wonder if they're the same sculpt, and it does not look like it. For one, I think Goku's tail is longer. Yeah, his tail is definitely longer. So yeah, they're actually different sculpts, which is actually very nice. And let's just take a look at Goku here. So yeah, come on, Vegeta. There you go, buddy. Okay. So for this Goku, it's really hard to say, but this might still be, to this day, my favorite Figuarts Goku, just because of, like, I mean, he can literally do that pose on the packaging right there. It's amazing. And we'll probably have that for the end of the review thumbnail. Oh yes. So yeah, the detailing on this guy, he's a bit more red on the camera, but he's actually pink, which is anime accurate. In real life, he's more like the packaging. Which I mean, he looks almost exactly like the packaging. Like, I mean, it's actually, the figure looks in between pink and red, and then on the packaging he's more like the magenta slash the pink. And then on the camera, it's just casting him in all red. it just says, okay, this guy's red, tan, and yellow. That's what my camera says. So yeah, I mean, but you have some you actually have some shading up here on the upper thigh pieces. And then I believe you have very, very slight shading throughout the pants and the legs, which is very, very nice. And then none of the back. Yeah, you can definitely see the shading. At least in person you can. I don't know why my camera is saying this is mustard yellow when it's very clearly this kind of yellow. They're almost one-to-one, maybe like 2 shades off. So yeah, I hope this video doesn't look that bad. I've been wanting to come back to reviewing for a long time, just been dealing with stuff in my life and stuff like that, and I'll get onto all of that probably in a separate video. So yeah, I mean, like I said, you know, the fur is a bit muted in the sculpt, but it's very, very nice. The detailing, you know, the only paint apps that are kind of awry on my Goku figure is like where the pink doesn't all the way go up to the flesh tone, or rather it's the flesh tone being painted over the pink that kind of bleeds over ever so slightly, but it literally does not bother me at all. All the faces look good on this guy as well. And Vegeta fell down. Alright, let's get into the accessories! Alrighty, I wanted to do Goku first because he's gonna take the longest because his accessories are the most, or actually no, they'll take the same, it doesn't matter. I wanted to do Goku first because, you know, yeah, I have ADHD, I'm sorry. So let's take a look at this, actually. Shift to focus, please, and thank you. Please and thank you. Shift to focus, please. Come on. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this beam effect is really, really nice. I love the 3.0 design of these. What is it? One of the superhero figures comes with the Kamehameha effect for the Ultimate Gohan, which I will be reviewing him soon as well. So yeah. And then, so something to show you guys is, so they have this sort of like keyhole pattern, and different beams go in different places. So it's not just like one size fits any slot, or one beam fits any slot. You have to actually key them in specifically, and you just match the shapes. You know, it's just like the those freaking kids' toys we played with when we were like 2 or 3 years old. It's the same thing. So yeah, so that's the Kamehameha effect, and to actually get it onto him, he has 2 hands, I do believe, yes, he has, yes, so he has 2 hands that have the pegs, which actually, it's more seamless than you may think. So let's go ahead and plug it in, so we'll just do it, actually we'll put the thumb on the bottom like that, and yeah, I mean, it literally looks like it's coming out of his hand. I mean, you can ever so slightly see it in there. And yeah, so, and then swapping hands is literally the same as any other SH Figuarts figure. So, just go ahead and, just right hand. Yeah, it is. All right. Go ahead and pop that off, just like so. It has a loud pop. And actually, I recommend, for Goku at least, for Vegeta it's a little bit different, but I recommend, come on bro, stand. Please! Please! Stop! There we go. I recommend removing the hand with the peg before you put it onto the figure, because otherwise you could risk breaking one of these Kamehameha beams, which would really, really suck, because this is a one-of-one effect piece at the date of recording and uploading this video. So yeah, so just go ahead and take the hand, or the Kamehameha off the hand, then you go ahead and take the hand, and just give it a nice firm push. It's a bit, on mine it's a bit on the tight side, or what is it? It's a bit of a tight fit. So yeah, I think it's on there. Yeah, even if it's not like all the way on there, it's fine. This is for the review, so that's completely fine. Okay. And I'll be right back, and I will have him with his. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back now, and if you have this guy and his wrist pegs are like really tight on the hinge part, I suggest putting some oil in there, because these hands, for me, they're really hard to get on there, and I think I see a slight bit of stressing on the joints. But yeah, let's just go ahead and put this on here. Come on. No, it has to go, where is it, this way? Yeah, that looks right. Yes, sir. There we go. And then, oh, my hand's literally all up in the camera's face. Sorry about that. And you can just literally bring his other hand up. So we're going to kind of do it like this. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And then just bring his other hand up. Kind of. I forgot how I did. There we go. There you go. I mean, yeah, it does the job. This is kind of an impromptu posing of this, so you can obviously get it to look better and, you know, look way more like that on the packaging. But yeah, I mean, there you go. And then for face swaps, so you just pop off his bangs just like so. Just get this hair out of the way. Pop face off just like so. And we will grab his face. The smirk. Why not? And then just pop on the bangs. And something to mention about the bangs and the faces on this guy, and I've found that this is a pretty common issue, is so sometimes you will see a gap between the face and the bangs, and it's really easy to alleviate. You know, you just push the face back, you push the bangs down, just make sure it's all cohesive and it just looks nice. I think from the side it'll make it look a little bit off, because I think some of them aren't molded to be the exact measurements that they should be, some of the faces, but I mean, you know, you're not going to really look at this guy's side profile, you're going to be looking at him from straight on. And to get into his other hands and stuff, he has 2 instant transmission hands. All of them have the sculpted fur on the back of the hands in that triangular shape. So you got 2 instant transmission hands. You have 2 regular key blast hands, which are very nice. You have obviously 2 regular Kamehameha hands and 2 Kamehameha hands with the peg for the effect. And then you have 2 martial arts hands, which are very cool. Very nice, very well sculpted. You have the side eye angry face, which looks very nice. And I think on one of my faces, one of the eyes was a bit off, but it wasn't like that off-putting. The screaming face, yeah, I think it's this one, but like, I mean, I don't know, it kind of looks like he's going crazy, so I fucking love it. I think it's just so awesome. It's so raw. It's Super Saiyan 4, man. Like, and then there's the stern face, which I think also looks very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, that's it for Goku. Let's move on to Vegeta. Alrighty, let's move on to Vegeta's accessories, and yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take a look at the faces. Here's his smirking face, which, dude, I don't know. This looks so fucking good. This is perfect, man. These faces, these figures are nearly perfect. I can't comprehend it. And then you have the gritted tooth face. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. I've been asking for it for years from SH Figuarts to have more expressive, you know, more like gritty and I guess emotional faces, instead of just like the flat, oh, the eyes are the same but the mouth's open, you know, when they're screaming. Or oh, they're screaming but their eyebrows are slightly more furrowed and the mouth's open. That's the only difference. Like, look at this, man. Look at how expressive this is. Look at how well painted this is. Dude, that is amazing. The only thing I could have asked for if the mouth was slightly wider, but I actually think it's perfect the way it is. These are just incredible. And Swapping out Vegeta's faces is different than Goku, but if you own an SH Figuarts Vegeta, it's pretty much the same as those. You just, well, yeah, there you go. You just pop it off from the top of the bangs, and then this is the stern face, which I actually quite like as well. Gotta say though, I don't really have a favorite Vegeta face, but I think the stern face is my least favorites. So I think I prefer these three. Oh yeah, man, that just, and it's such a nice fit, dude. It's such a nice fit. You're not gonna have that issue between the bangs and the actual face, like the gap on Goku. And again, it's not that big of an issue for Goku, and it's not really something I'm going to punish the figure for. So yeah, there's the smirking face, and then for the different pairs of hands, you have two big bang attack hands. That was a terrible Vegeta impression. You have two, I believe these are atomic flash hands, I believe. You have two regular old, wait a minute. Let's say, I thought they were fingernails sculpted on these. I keep dropping stuff. You have two regular old Ki Blast hands, which are, all these hands look really, wow, I've never actually taken the time to look at the sculpted detailing on these hands, but they all look really, really good. Very, very nicely detailed. You have two of the Final Shine attack hands. Why do I keep dropping stuff? I think it's because I have fingernails. I should have cut them before this review. I've been interviewing for jobs lately. I need a job. So yeah, two of the Final Shine attack hands. And then two Final Shine attack hands, or I guess Final Flash hands without the pegs. So yeah, so the Final Shine attack, if you wanted to put this on Vegeta, for one, his wrists are a lot, they're a little bit looser than Forku's wrists, so you're not really going to be scared of them breaking. So yeah, and then you can just, I'm pretty sure you can just kind of flip it on there with the effects piece attached with little to no issues. This is being a pain in my butt. Come on, work with me. There we go. See, that really is not that bad at all. So yeah, I mean, there's a slight gap between the wrist peg and the actual hand piece itself, but there you go. I mean, yeah. Final Shine attack! I have a terrible Vegeta impression. Here's my Goku impression though. I'm pretty strong this time around. This is my ultimate form, Super Saiyan 4. It's terrible as well. I know. It's probably slightly better than my Vegeta impression. I can't do impressions. So yeah. You know, swapping out the hands is, I mean, it can be slightly difficult for these figures, but overall, I mean, the accessories, I think Vegeta gets 10 pairs of interchangeable hands, 12, and then Goku gets like 8 or 10. It's plentiful. You have energy effects, you have 4 different faces for each of the figures. It's amazing. So yeah, I think there's not really much else to do but get into the articulation, so let's do it. Articulation times, head to toe. Here we go, from the head down. And Vegeta. Okay, we're gonna go over Vegeta because he actually has a couple of quite annoying QC issues. I'll say annoying instead of like major, because it's not major. It can be fixed with like some oil or something. So yeah, so he can look up without his chest and everything that far, which isn't too bad. He can look down that far. Can he do a full he cannot do a full 360 rotation, but he can turn far enough side to side. And I mean, if you wanted to like finagle the shoulders and arms to get a little bit more range, that's fine. The hair is split off into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sections. So these 2 back sections can raise and lower and sort of rotate ever so slightly just to be out of the way for more articulation. And then these little back pieces that come to the front can sort of move out of the way as well for articulation. And you know, they're all on ball joints, and then these are on ball hinges. And then the same for the Goku figure. In terms of his arms, he can do a full let's do this arm because this arm's really, really tight. I think they're both a bit tight, but that one's tighter. You can do a full 360. It is on a ball socket hinge. You have wonderfully working butterfly joints, which go in quite far, and you can even give them the whole cross arms look if you would like to. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Wait, is this arm super tight? Okay, it's a bit tighter, or a bit tighter than I would like, but it's not as bad as this one. Double jointed elbows, which bend in that far. Wrists are on ball pegs, just like your standard SH Figuarts. So however you have these configured is the way that the wrist is going to be able to pivot. Okay, so for this arm, this top joint, what the heck is that? Don't tell me that's plastic damage from plastic rub. No way. Okay, so this top joint, or no, it's this bottom joint. It's giving me trouble, and it's a bit scary to articulate. Is it the same for this one? Kind of. It feels a bit gummy, but not too bad. So yeah, if you get your Vegeta or your Goku or any SH Figuarts in there like that, I recommend applying a bit of oil. I applied some oil to, I believe it was this wrist peg, and it's a lot better now. He can crunch forward this far. His tail always falls off while you do this. I'm literally about to get to the tail section. Huh, I did not know there was some slight gapping back there. But yeah, some very, very nice ab crunch. Very, very nice backwards crunch. Get some nice side to side. You have some rotation, and I think he rotates far enough. The tail is on a ball hinge, so however you have this configured is how it's going to go. It can go up and down or side to side or whatever. It can do all this stuff, and it can rotate in 2 different places, so that's pretty cool. You can do pretty much a full-on splits. That's very, very nice. And if you take a look at the hips on mine, this one juts out ever so slightly more than this one, and I wish it was more like this side on both sides instead of them being different, but that's okay. You can kick forward that far, kick back not so much, upper thigh rotation, which can almost do a 360. Double jointed knees, which my knees are actually a bit loose. What the hell is up with that? Huh. That should not be like that. Is this one? I mean, they're not so loose that he's not going to be able to stand, but anyway. The ankles hinge up, down that far, and then up that far, which is actually quite nice. He has toe articulation, and then he has rotation and pivot as well. And it's pretty much the same case for Goku. I will still showcase his articulation. It's just a bit different because they're different sculpts. I believe both of these figures are entirely brand new sculpts, and they don't really reuse that many, if any, assets at all, besides maybe the shoulders. I think the shoulders are the same, just reproportioned for Vegeta, so to speak. So yeah, let's get on to Goku. Get his instant transmission out of the way. Okay, so for Goku, I believe he has a bit more range than Vegeta, which is really interesting. So he can look up that. Yeah, he definitely has more range up than Vegeta. That is not even close. He can almost do wall crawling poses. That's crazy. He can look down that far, and then in conjunction with the neck, yeah, it's not really getting you that much. Oh yeah, and they have ball sockets in the necks. Or no, there's a ball joint at the base of the neck. I forgot to mention that for Vegeta. His head cannot do a full 360, but he can do side to side that further than Vegeta. And then his head is also split into 5 pieces, actually 6 if you want to count the bangs, but these aren't articulated, so I just say 5, just like Vegeta. You have ball hinges back here for these 2 pieces, and these are actually nice and tight, unlike Vegeta, which his were loose. And then these are on ball joints, so you can move these however you wish. Okay. Arms can do a full 360, and they're not tight like Vegeta's. They go out that far, which is pretty good. You have wonderful butterfly joints, which can do that pose like I've been saying throughout this entire review. You can get some good forward and back. Upper bicep rotation. Double jointed elbows, which bend in this far. And then the wrists are just the standard SH Figuarts ball hinge. As for the abdominal section, Goku can crunch forward that far. Actually, Vegeta crunches better than Goku. He can crunch back that far. He can get some okay side to side. He can get some decent rotation in there. Just be careful. And then something to note is like Goku's, you see that? that gap happens from time to time, and you just got to kind of rotate it forward, and then you got to like readjust the thigh rotation depending on which pose you want, or like however you want it configured. So that's something I just thought was worth mentioning. He can kick forward that far, kick back not at all, because he has the big booty. He's thick in the back. He can do pretty much the full-on splits, which is extremely nice. I love this new 3.0 body. Upper thigh rotation, like I just said. Double jointed knees, which bend in extremely far, especially for how baggy these pants are. Feet move down, up. They can rotate, they have ankle pivot, and toe articulation as well. And let's move on to the conclusion. Final thoughts, comments, and concerns about these figures. Final thoughts, if you're a fan of GT and you can still find this Goku for less than $100, and I'm pretty sure this Vegeta is still not that expensive, he's probably like $80 now, then I definitely recommend these to you guys to pick them up. Also, Dragon Stars is dropping Super Baby. I'm definitely thinking about getting that guy. I'm going to get Omega Shenron as well. And then probably the Power Up Pack Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta from Dragon Stars. And I know that Figuarts is like kind of gearing up for that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta release, because we already have both of these guys. We're about to get the GT Kid Goku, and I want to say that Hand at the very least was like revealed somewhere. So as for my issues with these figures, Goku's ankle joints are a bit too loose for my liking, but otherwise all of his other joints are very, very nice besides his tail. And I mean, his tail's not a big deal, it still holds the pose, so it doesn't really matter. There's nothing too tight on this guy besides his wrist joints, and literally everything else is fine. The whole the hair not matching up with the face thing is not a big deal at all, you know, like I said earlier. As for Vegeta, I had to apply some oil to his left arm, which kind of sucks, and you know, I shouldn't be having to do that with my $65 SH Figuarts. But I mean, otherwise, you know, these guys look great together. They pose really, really well. As you can see, they're both in wide stances, and they're not supported by anything other than their own feet, and they're just bouncing. Vegeta's legs are a little bit too loose on the knees, but I don't really care. You know, he's holding a pose, he's not falling over. What else? And his wrist pegs are actually they're actually not too loose and not too tight, they're just right. And then his hip thing is kind of annoying. So I'll give Vegeta an 8.5, and then I will give Goku also an 8.5. I feel like that's a fair assessment for both of these figures out of 10. And yes, I know I forgot to do size comparisons. I've had at least this guy, and then I think in 1 or 2 reviews I've had these guys next to other figures that I've already reviewed. So if you want to see how they stack up against those other figures, go ahead and check out those reviews. And if not, well then just stay tuned for future reviews, because I will definitely be having these guys in size comparisons for my future reviews. I just completely forgot to do it today, and I really don't want to tear apart my display for some size comparisons. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram at spectrum.reviews. My Facebook link will be in the description below, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!